Hello everyone, welcome to the hottest news stop for film freaks and cinephiles from all over the world. In this week's episode, we will be discussing the 2004 mystery Innocence. Innocence is an excellent representation of male gaze, grooming, the loss of a childhood, sort of a transformation from girlhood to womanhood, and femininity as a performative art in general. Innocence is an avant-garde, very psychological drama which is filled with dark symbols, metaphors, and rituals too. The movie takes place in a isolated institution, a boarding school, to be more precise, that is located in the middle of nowhere and much too hidden away from the outside world, from the society. The school itself contains some specific nuances. First of all, the newcomers always arrive by coffins. The students wear color-coded ribbons according to their age. They are in a very strict regimen and are taught only dancing and biology. All of the points above have more secretive, a bit deeper meaning behind them. Coffin, as a choice of transporting the little girls, shows the kind of rebirth, the new definition of origin. It's like they were not even born from their mothers, they have not even lived with their families, they simply were created by some closed system and were brought to one as well. Anything from their past is simply unknown, as if it doesn't even matter or exist. Arriving to the school upon opening the coffin was where they actually were born. As mentioned before, the whole film happens in a singular building, which is displayed in the middle of a dense forest. The school is surrounded by a big field full of trees and flowers. However, not a single living soul can be tracked on the territory, except for the school teachers and pupils. The school is surrounded by big walls, which are basically impossible to escape, keeping the girls hidden away from the outside world. The colorful ribbons the girls are assigned to wear are chosen according to their age and the phase of their development. The ribbon system at first glance might seem innocent, even cute at some point. However, it carries a lot deeper meaning. The ribbons represent the hierarchy of the childhood. The youngest girls are still active. They are curious, they look around, they touch objects, plants, ask questions, look for answers. They are more carefree and even more extroverted, to say. As the girls get older, they are taught to be disciplined, more reserved, quiet, self-conscious. The older girls are standing aside, watching, observing, quietly, in silence, awaiting their departure from school, and nobody even knows the fate and the future of the teenage girls. The school itself may come off as oppressive. Many of the sources, actually, that I researched while preparing the essay paint the school as the prison. While it might be fit for some extent, it might not be the complete truth. It's not as much of a jail as much as it is a machine of femininity. The teachers are caretakers who seem to just lack the purpose, the background, or the emotional representation, which all of that adds to the eeriness of the entire scenery. They are preparing the girls, dressing them, washing them, just making sure their appearance is neat, not a single thread or hair out of place. Though they're not getting the girls ready for a certain profession or a field of career or even a social role. It is all because of the visibility, the access, which is perfectly distributed in the final act, the dance recital. But we'll discuss that a bit later on the video. The film contains a lot of images of nature, water, insects, leaves, plants, mud. This one draws almost a dichotomy between organic, more natural transformation and the institutional transformation. The girls observe the insects, watch them, collect them, keep them in little jars. This is a symbol of natural development, like how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. On the contrary, the kids' growth is more institutional than organic. The water, on the other hand, holds the meaning of forgetting, cleansing. The children arrive with floating coffins on the water. The characters almost float through the plot as the film progresses. Dialogues are soft, sounds have no edges. Time and space almost go with the water flow. And now, the big crescendo of the whole movie, ballet. Ballet is less of a symbol of the artistic expression. It mostly represents purity and innocence, and in a way that might be fit for this specific film as well. However, it is a lot more that has to do with the discipline that comes with it than the self-expression part. Every single stretch and every single movement during rehearsals or recital is pre-calculated, corrected, synchronized, and overly rehearsed and repeated until it's perfectly distributed, and until every single ounce of individuality is gone. The set structure resembles the theory of a docile body by Michel Foucault. Foucault was a French historian and philosopher. He was well known for his ideas about power, knowledge, liberty, and how these maxims are used as a mechanism of social control. Specifically, the docile body suggests a body that is trained to act according to the external expectations rather than the internal desires. The girls are also performing strictly according to what they are expected to, and less according to their own will. In the meantime, we have reached the point of the dance recital. It is one of the most significant moments of this film. We actually never know who the performance is for. We actually never see the faces of the spectators. We can only judge by the atmosphere and the feedback that they are indeed men. The girls are smiling softly, kind of making eye contact with the audience. Roses are being thrown on the stage right after they finish their little performances. As the director refuses to unveil the entire context, we as viewers are left to our own interpretations. By the end, ballet is no longer just a dance. It feels more like a rehearsal for adulthood in a patriarchal society. And the dance is not about the artistic excellence. It is about embodying the ideal femininity for all the viewers whose approval basically determines one's place in the world. This movie is one of the greatest examples of the male gaze, females being prepared for the male gaze, and the male gaze being the judge of the females, their acceptance by the society and even by themselves at some point. Some of the familiar films that you can watch would include Mustang, Picnic at Hanging Rock, Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, even Virgin Suicides at some point, if we're talking about the male gaze. I think that would be quite the appropriate parallel for this film. Anyway, that was all. It was a little deep dive about the film worth mentioning. Like this video and subscribe and comment your thoughts about the film. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you in my next video.